Hey everybody, it's Nicole. I hope you're doing well today. So I created this diagram entitled Community College or University First in an effort to spark some conversation about which to choose when you're graduating from high school. We'll also go over if you've already graduated from high school or you're working on your GED, what your option is for with community college and how to get to university. If you're an adult and you're making a you want to do a new path in your life, you want to make some changes, make some career changes, we can talk about that as well. So there's the one side obviously is community college, one side is university, and then the middle is our overlapping benefits. Both are great options, and you should be proud of yourself for trying to fulfill either of those options. So I'll just start over here at community college. Obviously, most of the time it's closer to your home than university. Sometimes you do live really close to university. So when you're talking about maybe you already have a job that you're working at, you can continue at your job. You can go to school. You can continue in your home without having to do moving costs and things like that. So that's a benefit. Easing into college work. So college level work is more intense, more demanding, and more difficult than high school. So community college gives you an opportunity to get used to that demand, the level of demand. It's not necessarily hard, it's just different. You just have to get used to the different pace of things, what's required of you, and kind of freshen up on skills that maybe you need to work on before just jumping into university. So there are opportunities and some time to like I said, ease your way into the academic work of it. Also, community college professors tend to have more time for their students to help them. There's tutoring options. Of course, there's that at university too, but it's a little more forgiving in a lot of those ways. And the community college professors are usually really helpful, trying to help you get to where you want to go, kind of walk you through things. And yeah, I believe it's nice. And also community colleges tend to be on the semester system, and some universities are on the quarter system, so or trimester, but you have, in the semester system, you have a good 4 to 5 months of a class, and on the quarter system, you've got like 10 weeks. So it gives you some time to figure that out. Your first 2 years are completed after you finish community college and you transfer to university and you complete your Associates of Arts or your Associates of Science. You can, I have an entire video on that and how that works, and I will post it in the description below. So the first 2 years of college are completed. So when you do the community college route, and whether it takes you 2 or, like I've said before, it took me 6 years to finish. So you do your first 60 units here, which is about 20 classes at 3 credits or units a piece. And then you transfer over to university. But that first 60 units gives you your associate's degree. Then you transfer over to university and you do your next 60 units, which is the last 2 years, and gives you your bachelor's degree. So you could either take the 2 years of classes, the 20 classes at community college, or take those basically same 20 classes at university. I don't have on here that it's cheaper to go to community college, but in most cases, it's much cheaper. However, if you happen to have a scholarship that was offered to you to university, then community college may not be cheaper. Different states have different costs. We live in the South, and it is not cheap to go to community college. On the West Coast, it was really cheap for us to go to community college. And so if a university is offering you scholarships and your stuff is paid for, then it's cheaper actually to go there. The community college, I was shocked when we moved about 10 years ago, and community college was, $500 a unit. And I was shocked because those are like similar to university prices. So it really does depend. However, as I've said in my other video that I'll be posting below, that'll be the same video I was talking about. Community colleges tend to have high demand certificate degrees. So things that are in high demand, careers that are in high demand, and it's completely paid for by the state government. So there are a lot of varying options with community college that aren't typically available with university, but that's not always the case either. So really, those blanket statements about cost are really hard to make. And so similar with universities, a lot of people are like, oh, I'm not going to apply there because it's too much money. Well, some of those higher cost universities offer you a much larger scholarship, and it ends up being less money than the non like the public university that's there that may not be costing a lot. So it really depends. You really have to fill out the FAFSA, which I have a video on as well. I will link that below. It's in my series, this whole series of Starting Over, it's called, or it's a playlist. And when you work through the FAFSA, the government, sends that information to the school, either school, community college. You have to fill out a FAFSA as well as university, and they will let you know what your options are. And so that's the best thing to do, is go through each school and talk with their financial aid office and see what they have to offer you. And that's really the way you make your decision if you're talking only about money. Okay, so first 2 years are completed at community college. The same first 2 years that you would have had at university, you do it at community college, and then you transfer over. You transfer over as a third year. There's 4 years in a bachelor's degree. It's similar to high school, freshman, sophomore, junior, senior. So your freshman and sophomore years are completed here. The 2 years being like all of your academic units completed, even if it takes you 6 years. It's fine. And so also there's a lot of leeway with community college like that. You can take a couple classes at a time, and they're not going to kick you out because you're not fulfilling your degree in time. It gives you more time for life, which is also a negative sometimes because then you get sidetracked. So, all right. At community college, you have time to find your interests. And kind of just the same thing I was saying, you have time there versus university. So community college gives you a space to take different kinds of classes, to learn different kinds of things, to, if you wanted to go travel one semester, or because you took a class and it was really interesting to you and you wanted to go somewhere, you can do stuff like that. It's much easier to do stuff like that at community college than it is to university. And it gives you time, to find your interests, to figure out which degree do you want to go for if you transfer over to university. Instead of just coming in as a freshman to university and you're in high school, and you say, oh, I want to do, biology, and you think that that's what you want, and you go in as a biology major at ninth grade as a first year university student, and you take a few biology courses and you realize that you actually liked chemistry. Well, then you have to figure out how, which you can, but you have to change your major, and you'll have to get accepted for chemistry. That it's usually an option that's open for most people, and that's okay, and they're kind of used to it. But at community college, you go in and you take your first 20 classes or so, and you decide when you take your same Bio 101 that's going to be here is going to be over here. And you take that and you're like, ugh. And then you take your chemistry and you're like, oh. And so you have time. So by the time you transfer, you're transferring as a third year. You're like, yes, I'm going in as a chemistry student. I'm applying as a transfer student for chemistry, and I want my Bachelor of Science in chemistry, not biology. So it gives you time to do that, which is very helpful because every new class you take is different in college, and it's exciting, and then you learn new things and things you never even thought you'd like, or meet different people that are really interesting, and you're like, maybe I should try this or that. That's the whole point of kind of opening your mind to different things, and that's what college gives you. Transfer to high-ranking university. Now, it is very true. If you keep your GPA at a 3.5 from community college, or your global GPA, or higher, it's like preferably 3.8, you can transfer pretty much anywhere you want to go. Universities love transfer students. They love those transfer students because they're older, they know what they want to do, they're committed because they've already done their first 2 years and they're transferring in as a third year. And they have very high graduation rates when they transfer in at university. And the universities really like that. And so you're also going in with a very small pool of applicants. So people applying from their freshman year to university, say, a high-ranking university, there's 300,000, 100,000, whatever applicants that they get every year for that. And they're looking at all of those students on the same level, the finished 12th grade. If you're applying as a transfer student, you're not in that same pool of 12th graders. You're in a pool of transfer students and it's very small. I believe it's like, I don't know, 7% of community college students transfer or something. It's a really small, don't quote me on that, but it's a really small percentage. That might even be high. I think it's more now than it was. I think it was like 3% when I did it. And but the universities, so there's a very small pool of people that you're competing against, and the universities really do look for that. And if you have maintained a high GPA at your community college and you've done those courses well, then they know that you're going to do your best there as well at university, and you're ready to move forward. And like I said, you're typically older. You're not coming in at 18 and, going to do all the things that you might do when you're 18. You come in at 20 or so. I was 24. I already, had a family and everything. So, yeah. So if you want to go to a high-ranking university and you don't think your scores are good enough out of high school to go to that university, your best bet is to go to community college for 2 years and transfer to that university. Do really well at community college, get the best GPA you can, preferably over 3.5, 3.8 and above, even better. And you'll make it there. Okay. So university. These are the things that university could offer you that perhaps community college couldn't if you went right out of high school. So intense focus on studies. Universities are created in a way, even architecturally, to keep you on track. So at community college, you might work, you're with your friends that you had all those years. You might have a family, like a child or whatever, and you're distracted from your studies. At university, it's a lot harder to do that. It's not only faster and more intense, but it's created that way to where, like, you typically live on or near campus. Your schedule is very full. Um, when you walk around campus, you're not lounging around. There's nowhere really for you to hang out and just do nothing. Your focus is on library classes and sleep. So there's also on the other on in that same category, you're dealing with professors that are perhaps prestigious in their area, and you're getting more information about the thing you're studying. However, when we're talking about the first 2 years, it's core courses. Most of it is core courses. You do a few, like, of the 20 classes, you're doing like 8 to 10 on your major. Well, I guess that's like half. And, um, the rest of them are core courses. So your English and math and um, your sciences and humanities. So really, those courses are pretty much the same across the board. However, the ones that focus on your major, and perhaps you're going to a university that is well known for your major, those are going to be different at university, and you're going to get a more, as I said, intense focus, a more uh, researched focus on what you're learning. It goes into the next one where I said a larger research base. That's basically what I mean. There's a lot more research material at the libraries there at university. They're amazing. The professors that are there in those certain areas are typically very high ranking professors who have a lot of experience, a lot of information, and new ways of presenting the data to you, or presenting the coursework to you. There's options more often at universities for study abroad and different kinds of external studying through those different professors. There's like independent studies and things like that. And that's not to say that there's not that at community college sometimes, but it's much more common at university. So just a higher level of academia. Now, some of the best professors I had were at community college, and I went to UCLA for my university, but my professors at community college were amazing. So I'm not saying that they're not amazing. I'm just saying that the amount of data and the amount of research that's available at the university for your subject is typically more than what's available at the community college. Okay, so if you're going to something really specific, that might be really good for you, or, in the sciences, the STEM fields, things like that. Not to say you can't get that when you transfer over. You're still going to get that. So it's still valid, even if you go to community college. Okay, school and community opportunities. So I mentioned that a little bit in the last one I was talking about, but the opportunities that are available at university, university is like a little city. And so there's events all the time happening that you can just walk into. One time I was just walking to class and I saw a sign for Morgan Freeman, and I thought, oh my gosh, I love him and he's such a great actor. So I just pop in and he's giving a speech to the film students there, and I just sat down and watched. And there were a few other times where politicians came, and you just kind of you just got to go in there and watch and talk and, be part of it. There's a lot of community involved. Also, we went as cohorts, as groups of students to do different things. We would do community events, we would do community service, and they would take trips to places with each other. And so you're with your same group of people for the 4 years for your bachelor's, and you really create a nice bond together, and you have a lot of options at university for different community building and school events and stuff like that. Some community colleges have some really great opportunities for students as well, but typically it's university has a lot. You experience the academic process if you go to university right away. That when I say that, I mean what I mean by that is the difficulty, the level of difficulty. So when I transferred from community college to university, as I said, I was 24, but I was still just done with my second year. So I was going in as a third year. Now, even though I was 4 years older than everybody else there, and I had worked forever, lived on my own forever, had a family, stuff like that, I didn't know what was going on. So I step into university, UCLA, mind you, which is, intense. And I step into my first class, and it's on the quarter system now. So I was used to semesters. So I'm reading my syllabus, and it says that the midterms are in 2 weeks. And I was like, wait, what? So when you have a 10-week course, your midterm, you have a project due, some papers due, and your final, and you're done. And I mean, you get through your classes really quick, but which I did. But at community college, you're chilling, a little bit. You've got your midterm is in a month and a half or something. So learning how to use what they call blue books there at university, just how fast the pace goes. What's a reader? They're like, you need to go pick up your reader. And I'm like, I don't even know what that is. Well, it's what the professor creates as a combination of articles and things that he wants to present to you. And it's usually hundreds of pages thick. It's just bound with a spiral bound thing. And it's a bunch of photocopies that the professor chooses for you to use during the course. And so it's not like textbooks, it's a reader. And the expectations of how to complete the tasks and the papers, and you're going from writing a 5-page paper at community college to a 15-page paper at university. And so another thing is that I went in as a third year. So those students that were in those classes with me at UCLA, when I stepped foot in the door, they had already had 2 years of experience there at university. And I had 6 years of community college. And then I go into university, and I'm hit with all of these things that I'm supposed to know already, how it works. Not that I was behind academically. I wasn't. I was behind in the process of how things happen and what you're supposed to do and the speed. Now, I caught up really quick. You just do. It's just do or die at that point, sink or swim. And so you just do. And there's people to help you. They have tutors, and they always have assistants for the students. With every class, they have teaching assistants. So it's not that they don't have office hours. They do. They have people to help you. But it was just a shock. And so, I put that on there for my own personal experience. And then the last one I have on here is you begin independent living. So, I mean, sorta. Even if you're in a dorm, it's kind of independent, not really, but it's more independent than living at home and going to community college. So you get to, realize your responsibilities differently, money differently. Also living with a bunch of people that you may not like, or, sharing not sharing, things like that, and temptations that you may not face at home. And so that's an important part of it. Now, where they overlap, again, these are just like what I thought of. You can easily expand on these, talk about it, start your own discussion on it. Send me some comments about things I might have left off, things to consider, ask questions, that'd be great. So, where they overlap, both, you're making an effort to advance your life. So, absolutely, you're taking the leap and saying, I'm going to step out of my comfort zone and I'm going to pursue something that's going to give me more opportunity later. And that's admirable. You should be really proud to do that. And in this area, I'm going to hit on the other instances where you might want to go to community college. That isn't just right out of high school. So if you are on your, you finished high school, or you're getting your GED, or you plan to get your GED, you are almost guaranteed entrance to community college at any age, after, as an adult at any age. And so you go and you take the AccuPlacer. I'm going to actually do a video on the AccuPlacer. And the AccuPlacer is just a placement test. And I'm assuming it's everywhere. It does the AccuPlacer now. But it's a placement test. And it's not like you failed. It's just showing where you are in the subjects, like math and reading and writing and things like that. So whatever score you get, that is the class that they can put you in at community college, where you start and then you work your way up to the other courses that you need that may be higher level and transferable to university. Again, this information, transferring units and stuff, is in that video I'm going to post in the description. So community college is a great option for your 24 years old and you decided, I want to go to university. I really am enjoying this subject that I'm learning about, and this is what I want to do. So you go to community college, you go for 2 years, and you transfer to university. When you're 40, you say, I got my bachelor's and my master's from this university. It doesn't matter. You didn't say, oh, but I didn't get it I didn't go straight from high school when I was 18. I went when I was 24. I went when I was 32. It doesn't matter. Like it really doesn't matter. You got it. And that's what you needed for you to advance your life. So, community college is, I've said it before, the greatest resource we have in our communities, our cities in this country. Even just go and talk to an academic advisor, tell them what you want, and they can devise a plan for you. It is the best resource we have. They're there to help you better yourself. There's also, as I've said before, a lot of vocational and vocational skills certificates, things you can get within just a few months, 2, 3, 4 months, and you've got your certificate and you can go work for somebody with that certificate or start your own business. And community college is great for that. And there are ones, like I said before, that are free depending on which state you live in, and the demand in that area. Free is amazing. You get this, credential, and you go on, you start your business, or you go and apply for jobs, which within just a few months, and you're good to go with a major increase in earning potential and advancement. So making an effort to advance your life, both exposed to new ideas and new people and ideas. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely, in both places. I would say equally the same. The professors that you have, the way that they teach the courses, the students that are with you, the events that you attend, all of this just opens your mind to learning how to get things done, learning why things are the way they are, understanding the world differently, understanding the world better, learning to make your own choices as an adult and how to, improve your life, improve the lives of others, make the world better, all of these things. So in major ways, you're exposed to new people and ideas, and that's fun. Um, it's really exciting to do that. Both persevere with dedication. Absolutely. Um, it's it's not an easy task. If it was easy, everybody would do it. You look at this paper and they say, well, you've got 40 classes to take, 50 classes to take, and it seems outrageous, but you take it little by little. Every semester, every quarter, okay, I have these 3 classes I'm taking. I have these 4 classes I'm taking. And it's just one at a time, and you just keep going. And eventually you get into the habit of it. I think leaving school and going back is really hard because you have to get used to the, um, you know, you're studying skills, you're studying time, just fitting it all in together, testing and papers and all that stuff and projects. So perseverance and dedication, persevere with dedication. So you keep going and you're determined to keep going. I once read somewhere that um, people who are hiring, companies that are hiring, a lot of the times they don't really care unless it's specific, like I said, maybe STEM or business or medical, which is STEM. But they look for applicants who have a bachelor's degree or more, not necessarily because of what they got the degree in, because they're going to train them the way they want them to be trained anyways, but just to see that they finished, that they were able to take on a large task like that and have a 4 or more year thing that you're working towards, and you finish well. And so you finish with uh, succeeding in your task, and that's a big deal. And I think that's why a lot of people consider it, a lot of employers and things like that, people like that consider it um, a a great indicator of the kind of worker you'll be and how you feel about yourself. And also, you know, in the fourth one, there's investing in yourself. You're absolutely investing in yourself. The pride that comes with, my daughter was calling me, investing in yourself. Absolutely. Um, I was so worried about the loans when I was going to UCLA, and a professor told me, you're investing in yourself. There's nothing better that you can do for yourself. And another person told me, they can take everything away from you. You can be stripped of everything you have, but not your education. And so, equity in your brain, right? What do you have to give yourself? So that, that's really investing in yourself in any way. You're doing a certificate course, you're starting your business, you're doing all sorts, anything to, be proud of yourself, to show yourself that you deserve the time, energy, and money that it takes to better yourself and to create the life that you deserve, to make sure that you're secure in your finances and secure in your life. It's really big. And so either path you take, you're doing that. And you should be really proud of yourself. And so, yeah, I think that kind of, explains, helping you think about the pluses and minuses. And both are great options. It just really depends on your circumstances, what you want to do at this point, where do you want to go. But even if you have to go to community college first and you don't want to, you can still get to the university you want to go, um, almost like for certain. So, um, and it'll be okay. Sometimes we have to take detours. Sometimes life gives us detours, and it's all right because all of those things matter, and you learn from every situation. So I hope this helped you, and I hope you have a good day. Okay, well, bye for now.